Hello fans from Wheelchair Gang, Tharries here and welcome back to another Doctor Who Series 13 news update video. We basically have confirmation of the episode 2 title as well as a brief bit of extra news surrounding the Sontarans. So let's just get right into it. So episode 2 of Doctor Who Series 13, or chapter 2 I guess, is supposedly titled War of the Sontarans. And here is the synopsis. I'm getting this from George Sheard. Apparently this is official. I don't see why it wouldn't be, because George, he does report on some pretty accurate stuff very quickly, so I'm taking this as accurate. The Doctor has an unexpected counter with one of her deadliest enemies when the Sontarans become a new faction in the Crimean War as the British Army goes into pitched battle with the warlike aliens, renowned nurse Mary C. Cole, Sarah Powell, while an ancient temple hides mysterious secrets. So, a very interesting synopsis. That to me implies that the Sontaran episode won't be episode 1 or chapter 1. I'm not going to get used to saying that. So if I call something episode 1, just assume that I mean chapter 1 or chapter 2 or whatever. But this basically confirms that the Sontaran episode is going to be the second episode, which I find interesting because we've had quite a few promo images now of the Sontarans. So I was kind of getting the impression that they were going to be the first episode, especially with the jack-o'-lanterns in filming for what we believe to be the first episode. However, what this could be is, as we know, Series 13 is kind of connected, so perhaps the Sontarans span across those two episodes, but they become more prevalent in episode 2 or chapter 2, hence the use of the word Sontaran in the title. Or it could just be a case of them being a cliffhanger villain for the next part. This synopsis does look a bit more promising than the previous one. The previous one talked about getting a run-in with the Carbonista and the universe exploding. This one, to me, I think it sounds a bit more like, yeah, I can imagine this being quite a good Doctor Who story if done well. I think there's more to grasp from this. Controversial topic, I know, but I do prefer the title, War of the Sontarans, as opposed to the Halloween Apocalypse. I still think that title sounds goofy. Although I think there is a case to be made that literally any Sontaran story could be called War of the Sontarans. So, I mean, I don't know, your mileage may vary on that, really. Someone also managed to find a casting list for Series 13 that lists Dan Starkey, prior Sontaran actor, playing Sivild, which we believe to be a Sontaran. It's very likely that it is. We obviously know that the Sontarans do have names. I think this is basically as close as it could get to being confirmed that Dan Starkey will return as a Sontaran, which I am happy about. He is a good actor and he does the Sontarans well. It'll be interesting to see him in the new prosthetics as well. It'll be interesting to see how his performance adapts to being in that new costume, because it is very different from the Moffat look. It almost seems a bit less emotive, so I'm wondering how his performance will translate over to that. Also, just a quick note, I found out that this was actually from Doctor Who Production News, who are apparently sourcing it from the Radio Times, although I haven't seen a Radio Times article about this, which is interesting. But we also get basically a full cast list for Series 13, along with just Dan Starkey as what we believe to be a Sontaran. So we get Sam Spirell as Swarm, who I believe we've spoken about briefly before. Obviously we don't know what the Swarm actually is, we know it's some kind of villain or character now, which is interesting. We also have Jonathan Watson as Skak, or Sontaran Commander Iskor. So essentially, playing a Sontaran, we don't know what his role in the episode is going to be really. We also have, obviously, Jacob Anderson as Vinder, which is interesting. Maybe he gets introduced in episode 2, who knows. Sue Jenkins as Elin, I don't know who that is, so we can't really gauge that. Paul Broughton as Neville, Dan's father, so we would assume that obviously Dan gets introduced in episode 1, so how much his family plays into the proceedings is quite interesting, because obviously we'd assume we'd meet them with Dan in episode 1, and then they might be in episode 2 as well, so that's interesting. We also have Gerald Kide as General Logan. I assume that's a Crimean War soldier. Dan Starkey as Sivild. Starkey played a Sontaran actor before, which we mentioned. Roshan Deosandal as Azure. Johnny Matches as a passenger. And Nigel Richard Lambert as Priest Triangle. No idea what that could be. That could be literally anything. Interestingly, in the shot of the trailer with all the different people, that kind of looked like a triangle. So maybe that's what it's referring to. Highly doubt it though. That's just a guess on my part. But yeah, that's basically just a little quick addition. But yeah, some very minor news items around Chapter 2, but nonetheless quite interesting. Also, before I go, I'd like to give a thank you to Jason Peace, Debs Iona, Simon Ashley, Shane Smith, Patrick Mewson, and Ree Keffin for being our top tier channel members. If you'd like to become a channel member, it really does help out. You get exclusive posts, you get your names in videos as this sort of demonstrates. You also get a badge to wear during live streams and custom emojis. More than anything, you'd be really helping me out. So yeah, if any of that sounds up your alley, then be sure to become a channel member. Thanks! But with that, we do come to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you later.